Alright, first question. How did you first get involved with Subspecies?
That was due to Michael Watson, who at a lunch break while I was doing General Hospital, he was on the show too. And during that lunch break, he went down to do his audition. And then he came back and told me that they were looking for a bad guy, and then it was actually Michael setting it up for me. And so I went down there. I think it was the same day, the way I recall it. And yeah, I went in there and talked to, I think Ted was there, and Charlie. And I did what I had to do and got the job.
Okay. What was the audition process like?
Well, it's so many years ago, but well, I read a scene, I believe, and there were those two casting directors. I don't remember their names.
Mm-hmm.
To be true, but yeah, I read the scene, and it seemed sort of easy, and yeah, they were friendly. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What was your first impression of Romania when you arrived?
Yeah, I took a liking to it immediately in a way. It was very friendly people, funny people, and well, it was way back then, of course. And one thing I remember is there were hardly any street lights, so at night it would really get dark, and you could see the stars. And but it was nice, except that it was right after Ceausescu had been killed, and so everybody was taking the streets, and that was one, but the main reason, I guess, why we ended up being there for so long. We were supposed to be there for 4 weeks, and I think we were there for 14 weeks. But we got to know each other, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Subspecies being filmed in Romania was a benefit for the film?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think Vlad, the photographer, was. Yeah. Well, it's due to him it looks the way it does, especially the first one, which was done with a lot of natural lighting, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember at some point Charlie got sort of fed up with Vlad because I think Charlie wanted us to work a little faster than was in the blood of Vlad. So he tried to fire him, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen. Thanks God.
Yeah. What was it like working with Ted Nicolau in the first film?
Well, it was great. When we finally hit it off together, we had a lot of screaming and what have you going on in the beginning, but that was mainly because of the working conditions and the staff in Romania, which were on the street constantly, and if not that, then they were drunk half the time, and so were we, to tell you the truth, because of all this delay. But no, I had a really good time with Ted when we finally got to work, and yeah, he's one of my very dear friends today.
The movements and the facial expressions of Radu, was
Yeah.
that improvised, or did Ted direct you with some of
Now,
that?
Ted was directing in the sense that he would let me do what I want, and if he didn't like it, he would correct it. But it was very, what's that called, safe and reassuring to work with Ted, because I knew I was in good hands, and he wouldn't let me down and make me look more stupid than I had to. So, no, He's a good director. He really is.
Did you have any sort of influence on Radu? How to become the character of Radu?
Yeah, in the sense that he would let me work. He wouldn't tell me up front what he wanted. We would try out different things, and then we would find a kind of a level in the movie, and then we would work out from that. And influence, I don't know. I've never made anything like it before or since, so. No, but the beautiful thing about working with Ted was that you didn't really have to come up with a lot of things, in the sense that, now what am I gonna do? I mean, he would let you work on a feeling, so to speak, and yeah, that was very nice and secure, so to speak.
How did the voice of Radu come about?
Well, yeah, how did that come about? I mean, it took a lot of red wine and a lot of cigarettes. As I said before, we didn't work for many weeks. We were down there, we were sitting doing nothing, and then yeah, to tell you the truth, we had a lot of red wine and cigarettes, and then one day, the rumor had it we were supposed to work the following day, and Ted would take me out on the set, and then we'd walk around out there, and then all of a sudden he asked me, well, how does Radu speak? And yeah, I was pretty hungover, and so I came up with this strange voice, and Ted said, okay, that's it. So it was a fluke, I guess.
Can you talk a little bit about the makeup process?
Yeah, on the first one, we had Keith, who learned me an expression that I've never forgotten, because he was so fed up with the working conditions. And one of the things were that I think we found a big box, and on top of that box, he would put my chair, so I was up in sort of so he didn't have to bend down and work on my face constantly. And there was no light, there was no nothing, and so he would mumble from time to time, how low can a nigger go? It was so horrible, but that's what he kept saying. And but he did a very good job, and it's very important that you get along with your makeup person, because well, he's basically attached to your body for the whole movie. You know, it would take approximately 3 hours to put it on, and another 2 hours to take it off. So, and in between he would come and correct my makeup. So yeah, but he was a fine fellow. And on the other movies, I think it was Wayne. What's his last name?
Wayne Toth.
Toth. And his friend, I don't remember his name actually. It's too bad. But Wayne, he was a party too. We had a great time together. But it was yeah. You were first up in the morning and last out of the makeup room at night. So, but I would have a bottle of red wine while he was taking it off, and Ted would come along and sing a few songs or say something stupid. Well, yeah, it was a good time.
Do you have any memorable, funny stories from filming in Romania? Whether it be on the film or after the film?
I don't know, funny stories, I don't.
Or crazy, anything unusual? Or?
But the whole process was crazy. We would have, the way I remember it, chicken and frozen vegetables for dinner every night for 14 weeks. I didn't touch any chicken for a long, long time after. That's for sure. But the whole thing was crazy, and but when we finally sort of gave in to these crazy working conditions, we actually had a very good time. Knowing that we couldn't get out, we might as well get the best out of it. So.
Do you think the Romanian people were receptive positively to the American production?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they did what they could, and they did a good job when we finally got to work. And but there's no doubt it was a clash of working cultures in many ways. It really was. But they became good friends, and we made these 4 movies, and people got divorced and got married and had kids in the course of those, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years it took. So yeah.
You had a lot of scenes with Denise Duff. You just talk a little bit about working with her.
That was horrible. That was Denise was fun. She was fun to work, and I still talk to her from time to time. It's not that often, but no, she was good to have on the team, so to speak, because she had a lot of positive energy, and she picked up a lot of the language while we were there, and she was a darling. She was.
What do you
and
think?
So was Kevin, for that matter. He was so funny to work with too. I think we're very lucky with the cast in the sense that people, maybe except myself, were very positive about everything, and that made the whole thing so much easier. But it was good people, sweet people. It really was.
What would you say was the toughest part about playing Radu?
That would be the makeup thing, because it took so long. And I don't know if I'd taken the job had I known beforehand, but when you have this makeup artist standing, touching you for 3 hours, I mean, you go fucking nuts. So we had to take breaks from time to time, because can you imagine for 3 hours? But yeah, that comes along with the job, of course.
Can you talk a little bit about the scene where you're in the cave and the smoke, you start chanting a foreign language?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was improvised?
Yeah, it was. I think I was standing with my mom, and so there would come a lot of smoke, and then Ted told me to come up with something which I should repeat and repeat and repeat, and then it would disappear in the fog, and then it would turn up in another room. It was a chant that would make Radu able to fly, I guess. And I didn't know what to say. And for some reason, this popped up in my head, which goes something like, Atatanga Tokovo, Anananga Silringi Torso Aruna, Atatanga Tokovo, Anananga Silringi Torso Aruna. And that's Greenlandish, and means my father is dead and my mother is out of her fucking mind. And it sort of made sense to the whole thing. And yeah, I don't know where it came from. But I've been living in Greenland in my whole childhood, so that's why I speak the language a little bit still. And but the funny thing was that many years later, my nephews, and they're living in Greenland, they came home on a holiday to Denmark, and they were screaming because they'd seen that movie up there and it was a big hit. Those people were sitting there, all of a sudden something came out of the Radu's mouth that they understood. So that, yeah, but that was I don't know where it came from.
After the first Subspecies was finished, did you think they would, you ever think you'd be playing Radu 3 more times?
No. No, but I was ready to go the minute Ted called. Because, I mean, excuse me, we have something with Romania now, Ted and I and the other people who were on the movie, so I'm pretty sure everybody would be happy to go back should it happen again. Which I hope it will, Charlie.
Yeah. That answers my next question. Do we have a status on Subspecies 5?
As far as I know, there's a script ready and been ready for quite a while. And Charlie should get it together. Mr. Band, he should. I don't understand why it doesn't happen, because I think it's very successful, and it's been a big experience to come here and feel how people are still taking that movie in 22 years later. But I really hope Charlie would, get it up and running. I know a lot of people would help.
Yeah. You just got done doing your first horror movie convention.
Yeah.
Were you shocked at the phenomenon Subspecies still has?
Yeah, really. There's a lot of people coming up. And young people too, for that matter. So, yeah, I think it's surprising. But then again, you never know what you're doing. You never know if a movie is going to be successful. And within its genre, it's definitely a success. So we should make number 5 before we turn 60.
Okay, I think that's good.
Is it true that the sunlight can kill us?
Yes.
What else? What else can kill a vampire?